Hello, Internet, and welcome to Lords of Misrule. We are back again to do some more D&D fun stuffs for all y'all out there. Before we jump into it, obviously we've got a little bit smaller gang today, so I'm sure we'll get all the drama and shenanigans that we usually do the smaller this group gets. But a couple of announcements. We had a bunch of awesome streams over the last week that you may or may not have caught. We've been streaming a lot of video games. We did a very long Sea of Thieves stream on Thursday in lieu of traditional or usual Wonderworld stream. And then we played some fun 7 Days to Die last night. And you can catch all of that next week. It should be going up on our YouTube for your enjoyment. Looking ahead, we next week will be kind of making up for some of the lack of RPGs that we've had in the last 7 days. We will have Wild Space on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will then have the next session or episode of Cyberscape going up on Wednesday, and following quickly after, the next Wonderworld will be making up for that, doing that next Thursday, I believe. Stay tuned. I think we're still getting that planned out. I don't know if that's been made official yet, but we'll get an official announcement out there ASAP. But that's the intended plan, is to make up for that next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then hopefully more video games and stuff to come. I also think that either tonight or tomorrow, and again, we will go ahead and we'll announce it and let you all know on our Twitter beforehand, but we will probably be playing some of the Anthem demo pretty soon. So obviously that just came out this last week, so if you're interested in seeing that before you decide whether or not you want to purchase it, come watch. None of us know anything about it, and we'll see how well it goes. I don't know how many other announcements. Does anybody else have anything that I might have missed that we should announce? No? Okay. As always, check out our website. All the links below. Everything else, if you want to know anything about anything that we are doing, it's all conveniently placed for you under and on our Twitch page. So we'll go ahead and get started. All of you out there who are enjoying, sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for this new episode, this exciting session of Lords of Misrule. And welcome back. Quick question from the chat. Gee, I just saw that you were asking when the Anthem stream is going to be. TBD. Yeah. Oh, okay. That just popped up too. I guess my thing's going a bit slow. But yeah, we'll let you know when that's going to be coming up. But yeah. So, recapping last session or last time on Lords of Misrule, your crew had journeyed back out from the depths of the Undercities and made your way back up to the fresh air of the city streets of Gothford to get yourselves embroiled in all of the chaos currently befalling our fair town due to the disappearance of the assumed death of the 4 family heads. You got yourselves in a little scrape with some Mephistosi gangsters who are trying to rob a jewelry store, which you stopped pretty handily. And you offered your services to one of the Calbit gang leaders, a woman by the name of Aya Sharp, who's currently vying for control of the West Circle territory. You offered to help them in ousting some of the Zartano gangs that have been trying to take over their turf. Aya accepted your offer as sort of a test of your ability. And you set your sights on the Zartano. You were successful in your mission, clearing out a department store on the eastern side of West Circle, attacking a elemental, a Sand Jin leader officer of this faction, and seemingly completing your job, your task. So we ended our session last week, all of you going your separate ways, waiting for sort of further word from Aya or your like next steps. We had Cordelia went to visit her former boyfriend, paramour, ex-lover, Nikolai, who had recently returned from the dead. You, in speaking with him, learned a couple of things. That Nikolai was previously an undercover GCPD officer, investigating the gangs of Gothford and and your family, the Nosfori, and is a partner of Detective Hartforth, who's the detective that had been giving y'all a little bit of trouble. They revealed some of their intentions to investigate or doing sort of internal investigation of the GCPD offices, and their belief that the new chief of police, Oswin Ebengard, is a Nosfori informant or thrall. And revealed as well that they believe that the person orchestrating behind all of this to be your mother, Natalie. And the reason they believe that is that she is the one that gave you up initially, turning you into the police and giving you the files needed to sort of throw them off your trail. And all this coincided with Enza getting another visit from the mysterious stranger who was revealed to be Natalie, who has Enza under her spell. So that's where we'll go ahead and we're going to pick up the session here today. Well, not too far from where we left off. Let me get a little bit calmer music. In the early hours of the morning of the 17th, that same seedy motel off West Circle, we see Detective Hartforth closing the door behind him as he leaves the room number 8 on this motel block. And inside, we come back to Cordelia and Nikolai sitting at the table. Nikolai pours himself another drink and pours you one as well. Cordelia finishing off the rest of the bottle as he takes the glass that Hartforth was drinking out of and over towards the sink. And he sits back down in his chair as it creaks underneath him, gives a long sigh, and says, "Well, I guess you know everything now."
I guess.
I don't really know what else to say other than I'm sorry that you're involved in all of this.
Me too.
And another time in another place, I would have said we should leave the city and get away from everything, but I don't think either one of us could do that now.
No. Seems like I've got some business to attend to.
I assumed as much. If you need any help, anything, I know that I'm not assuming that there's anything between us anymore, but I do want to help you, and I do still care about you. So, if there's anything I can do.
Nikolai, I think there will always be something between us.
He kind of, I think, kind of stifles a smile or something and takes a drink from his glass, and he sets it down and says, I suppose you're right. I was thinking the other day, it's not too far from, well, with the fall coming on and winter not far behind it. Do you remember when, I think we'd only been together a few months at the time, but that fair came to Amberfield and I invited you to come with me? I remember not thinking you'd be interested in going. And when you said yes to going, I was honestly surprised. I thought it was a no, and I didn't really expect there to be anything sincere between us. It seemed like we were just having fun, but we went, and you were, well, I think I saw a different side of you that day, something that I don't imagine many other people have. I remember how you used some sort of magic. I don't really understand most of those things, but to unrig a lot of the carnival games there. And I remember the operator getting pretty angry at you, and I ended up with a black eye because of it. And but I think the thing it did.
I do remember that.
But that's memory. Well, afterwards, when we were sitting on the hillside above the fairgrounds and looking out over them, and I saw you sitting there and smiling and with the lights in front of you, that was the moment that I knew that my feelings for you were real, and that this wasn't a job anymore, that I knew I had to protect you from what was happening. And I wanted so badly in that moment to tell you everything that was happening, but I knew it would just put you in more danger.
Right.
And that wasn't my choice to make, and I know that.
Because I'm so safe now.
Yeah. If I could redo it, I would have told you then, and maybe we would have been able to avoid all of this.
Maybe. But you made your choice. And it wasn't me.
Well, as I said, that is a memory that got me through the worst of times over the last few months. And it's also one of my biggest regrets.
Well, I'm glad you have that to hold on to. Because that girl's not around anymore.
Understood. Well, I guess I look forward to catching up on the person I'm sharing a drink with now, then.
I don't know that you'd like her very much.
Only one way to find out. So, what now then?
What now is, I guess, I have to deal with my mother.
Is she still in town?
As far as I know.
Well, I don't know if it would be a good idea for me to go with you, but like I said, if you want me there, I'm there.
We'll see. Before that, I have some colleagues you should probably meet.
The friends of yours that hang out in that laundry joint.
Who you should officially meet, I guess.
That'll be a fun conversation, I imagine. I'm curious to see how you introduce me.
Me too.
Do you plan on telling them that, well, he kind of taps on the badge on the table.
I suppose I have to.
You trust them?
Enough.
Well, I'll trust your judgment then.
This is really fucked.
It is. I suppose you should be... It's very late. I imagine you need to be heading back somewhere.
Home.
Would you like me to walk you?
Sure.
He reaches over to the bed and grabs his leather jacket and a set of keys from the table. I think he also reaches underneath the mattress and pulls out a revolver, which he tucks into the back of his pants.
Cute.
He says, with everything going on right now, I hope you're carrying well, never mind, you don't need it.
I've got something much better than that puny gun.
I imagine so. Let's go then. And he reaches towards the door and leads you out of the room. Locks the door behind him, and the two of you head off down the streets of West Circle towards your apartment building. The city is fairly quiet now. It's been a few hours since the explosion before, and I think with everything going on right now, that's pretty quickly cleaned up, and there isn't a huge investigation going on at this time. Eventually you reach your building. No struggles or attacks along the way or anything. And yeah, he looks up at it and says, "This place really hasn't changed much, has it?"
No. Same apartment, same neighbors.
Well, when do you want me to come by again? Or when would you like me to meet your friends?
I suppose tomorrow's good a day as any.
Fair enough. Should I meet you at your speakeasy then?
That's probably best.
All right. Well, I guess just let them know I'm coming. He kind of pauses for a moment, and I think he locks eyes with you, which maybe for an uncomfortable long second as he like contemplates saying something, and then he just gives a smile and says, "Good night, Cordelia."
Good night, Nikolai.
And he sticks his hands in his pockets and heads back down the road.
Go inside.
Okay. You head off to sleep. The rest of you do as well. We'll do a time lapse to the morning. Where Enza, you wake in your apartment, having no memory of the night before. I think you remember getting to your building and heading up the stairs, and then just nothing.
Okay. Is there a pair of teacups on the table?
Yes, there's a tea set on the table.
I think when she like sees them, she like gets real mad for a minute.
And as you're mad, there is a knock on your door.
Cusses that. And like drops over to the door and probably just like throws it open because she's so angry.
Okay, you throw it open in a huff, and as you look in front of you, you see a familiar face. You see a pale-skinned tiefling with red eyes, carrying she has a parasol that is tucked under her arm, and wearing a blue dress. And she says, "Good morning. Is this a bad time?"
No, 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 it's a great time. Would you like to come in? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, E. Yeah. And she heads in, sets her parasol down, and Anthea looks around your apartment, which I don't know what sort of state it's in right now.
Well, there's the Behir horn is in the bathtub.
Okay. We'll see if that comes up.
Yeah, it's probably like a little dirty. She doesn't spend like a lot of time there, so like maybe there's a little bit of like junk and stuff hanging around. Probably on the coffee table there's like her gun is out and she's like cleaned it.
Yeah, she looks around. She says, "This place has seen better days. I imagine you're not spending much time here."
Not really. I'm pretty busy with jobs and stuff.
Yeah. I got your note.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. That's good.
I came over here because I was worried about you.
Yeah, same. There's a lot going on in this city right now, and I know you get a lot of different people come around the shop, and just want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everything's okay. No one's like try to rough you up or nothing.
No, I'm pretty well protected, so everything's fine at the shop. How about you? What? You're not getting involved in all of this, are you?
A bit.
I should have figured.
Yeah, I've had to pick up a few different jobs here and there since things happened, and I have a particular set of skills that are useful for some types.
Okay. Well, as long as you're staying as safe as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Like pulls down her shirt to like cover probably like some bruising and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
She looks towards the table and she says, I'm glad to see the set I gave you is getting some use.
Yeah, actually you're pretty good with magic stuff. I keep having a guest over and I can't remember who they are. I know it sounds weird. I don't know what it is, and that's
You mean you're like forgetting their name, or
kind of more than just their kind of all of them. I don't know who it is. And apparently we have tea. I don't know what's going on. They came by one of my friends too.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
think this person is using magic on you?
probably.
Okay.
I know magic can do some crazy stuff, and
I
I've seen you do great things. And
yeah, here, sit down for a second. I don't have a lot with me, but I might be able to help. And she has you sit down at the table, and she pulls out a small like component bag from her waist, and just grabs a few things. And she says, I don't know if I can help with it, but I might be able to see what the cause is. This will take a few minutes, so just wait. I'm going to see if I can see if you have any spells on you or anything. Okay.
all right.
Okay. And she begins to cast a detect magic spell over you. Or no, an identify spell is what I'm meaning to say. That's the metal. Yeah, she begins to cast an identify spell over you. And I think, her set of magic isn't so much in, I wouldn't call her like a wizard. It's closer to like an artificer, but with like, does more potions and concoctions and things like that. So she begins to cast an identify spell over you. And as the ritual finishes, and she has a pearl in her hand, which she holds up to her eye, and as she kind of walks around you, and it flashes for a second, and she pulls it down and says, "Wow, you."
Is that a good wow or a bad wow?
No, that's a bad wow. Yeah, you must have your friend or whoever this is must be pretty powerful. Well, there are a couple things that I can see. And actually, let me double check one thing with the identify spell for this. And
Okay.
any spells, yeah. There are 2 spells right now that are affecting you. One of them is affecting your memory.
Okay.
Somebody must have erased part of your memory.
All right.
I can't tell what they erased, but that might be why you're having the blackouts, or you don't remember their name or anything about them. The other one is a charm spell. There's a word for it. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's called a Gaius. It's a pretty nasty charm. Essentially, whoever casts it on you, they can give you a command, and you have to follow it, or else it'll hurt you.
Like, just hurt me, or would it kill me?
It could. It'll hurt you a lot.
And there's like no way I could stop it. I like have to do the thing, whatever they say.
It's pretty powerful. It lasts for a long time. And I imagine this person is keeping themselves a secret, so you won't know who it is that is making you do something, or what it is they're asking you to do. Man. I don't have I can't do anything about it. I don't have the ability to get rid of these spells, but
that's all right. I'm just glad you were able to figure something out, because it's good to know. I guess. Is there? So I probably need to find somebody who's pretty powerful to break it.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of the life that I have now, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know if this is going to help at all, but there's another reason for me being here. Galric told me to talk to you when I saw you next. I mean, he didn't know I was coming here, but he came by the shop the other day and said that he wanted to see you, and it was around the time I got your note, so I thought I should probably just come by.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I'm gonna have to talk to Galric, because I don't want him bothering you.
It's fine. It really is. I mean, they keep me safe, so.
Yeah, but...
And he's nice. I mean, he always buys something when he's in, so it's sort of a win-win.
I guess. Well, I'm real glad you came. I'm sorry this place is a mess. That's a nice umbrella you got. Is it new?
Oh, yeah. My old one was getting a bit ratty, so I had to get a new one, and I really liked the color and the print on this one, so I picked it up last week. So, well, I should be getting back to the shop, but you should come by sometime soon when I'm open. And
yeah. Oh, all right. I just I didn't know if you wanted rough folks like me around your shop.
She laughs and she says, "You don't have to pretend with me. I know you, and you belong there as much as anybody."
Well, thanks, Antheus. It's real nice to see you.
It's good to see you too. I think as she's kind of walking towards the door, she picks up her parasol. She turns around and she gives you a hug before she leaves, and she kind of pats you on the shoulders and she says, "Stay safe." And she goes quickly walking down the stairs.
Ugh. She like slowly closes the door.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I have for Enza for right now. What I have one other thing we're going to do, and then we can kind of get you guys together. You guys can act on what you've learned so far. Sebastian, you wake up in the morning, having fallen asleep, probably waiting for Cordelia to get back. You can see back into like the room or the door to like Cordelia's room is closed, which it was open before. So you get the idea that she's probably home, and maybe like your coat or something, Cordelia, is on the hook. So you know that she's in. What does Sebastian do in the morning, or where would you like to go? Because in my imagination, you're, or I guess if you're leaving the apartment, where are you heading to? Or,
I guess in the absence of any concrete group plans, Sebastian's just going to take it upon himself to start fencing some of the jewelry we've accumulated, because we have a heck ton of it.
Yeah, that works. So maybe going to make contact with somebody who might be able to buy it. Later on.
Sebastian has worked as a fence before.
Okay, yeah.
So he knows how to do this. Just gonna start getting it done. Start getting us some more liquid assets.
That's fair. So yeah, since you have experience with this, I'd say you probably have a contact, like a jeweler or somebody, or a pawnbroker or somebody, in the area who you know will buy this stuff. So we can actually pick up after that, and we can go ahead and just convert the jewelry that you guys have into gold. I will say, fencing it like that, they're probably going to take, I'd say, like a 10% broker's fee for it, unless you want to try to haggle on that one.
Yes, but I'm trying to think of what he would try to say to haggle. I think something along the lines of, everything's a bit hectic right now. Not sure. No, who knows when you're going to be able to get some good quality stock like this again.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and you can make a persuasion check to try to get that percentage down.
Okay, 16.
Okay. I'll knock it down to, I'll just split the difference, say 5% on that one.
Okay, so now I need to do math. Okay, so they're going to take basically 29 gold, 5 silver from almost 600 gold of jewelry.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. So yeah, so go in and just deduct that from the 600.
Yeah.
Which, assuming they're going to upsell it and stuff too, they'll probably get more than that. Yeah. So yeah, the jewelry is sold. You now have the gold, or the worth of it, the value of it in gold. As you're heading back now, I'm assuming this broker is probably in the Lower Gothford area, or
given where Sebastian used to run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. As you are heading back to the laundry joint, we can say that you guys are planning to usually reconvene there. Or maybe there was some tenuous plan to reconvene at the laundry joint in the morning. We can just skip to that instead of you guys having to like make phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
There, I think you catch out of the corner of your eye, there are a couple of shadowy figures, for the lack of a better terms, but there are a couple of people that seem to be dogging you, kind of, no pun intended, and seem to be following you. And as you turn a corner, you can see there are a couple of others like across the street that seem paying attention. You're getting the idea that something's about to go down. What do you do?
I'm going to find an alleyway so that, try and get a choke point, limit their actions, give myself the best battlefield I can.
Okay. Yes, you knowing this territory pretty well, you fall down an alleyway and prepare yourself, knowing this one's sort of a dead end and giving you kind of a limited or one point of access, and prepare yourself with your cane in hand. And as you ready yourself, you do see the two figures that were following you come to the end of the alleyway and stop there for a second. Both of them look to be human, one man, one woman. Both of them wearing sort of dark leathers. And they just stand at the end of the alleyway for a second. You can hear footsteps of a couple other people coming from behind them, and the man looks back over his shoulder and says, "Looks like he figured us out, boss." And there's a brief pause, and you hear some heavy footsteps come around the corner. You see a tall, lumbering man in a tattered brown leather jacket. He has a cigar in his mouth that he's chewing on pretty heavily. You see Gura come walking around the corner, and you see about 10 other people behind him. Some of them carrying, like, I think we're going full-on greaser here. Some of them have like chains wrapped around their hands. Other ones have like switchblades that they are just kind of fiddling with it, clicking and spinning around. And Gura pulls a cigar out of his mouth and says, "Well, you have some pretty big balls to come around here, don't you?"
You wish your balls were as big as mine?
El Toro, what brings you to my neck of the woods?
Just doing some business, getting in touch with some old contacts. You know how it is.
Yeah. You might have heard, but things are a bit different around here than they were the last time we met.
Yep, I hear you've managed to make a little bit of a name for yourself, though Jersey's still whipping you from the way I hear it.
Jersey's got the numbers, but, well, that rat can only hide for so long. We'll take them down soon enough, but they've got enough on their hands right now, as far as I can tell. You, on the other hand, well, you and your friends, we did some pretty stupid stuff last time that we met. And the dumbest thing you did was letting me go. Now, given everything that's happened, given this is my territory now, a few things came to light. I found out You're supposed to be dead. Now tell me, what's a dead man doing walking around on my streets?
Dead might be a bit much. I mean, I know someone set some wolves on me in an alley and they beat me to shit, but I pulled through.
You must have a pretty good doctor then. By all accounts, they put damn near a clip in you when they left you there. I think half your insides were on the outside. But they could have just been bragging. I'm not one to overestimate the integrity of some of the former members of our organization. But that being said, as far as I can tell, you're still alive. And your family's still alive. And a lot of people will be real interested to know that.
Fuck do you mean about my family?
Well, the hit wasn't just on you.
I think I want to insight him because Seb's memories of his beating at the hands of the Nurians is pretty fuzzy. But,
Sure.
He's pretty confident he's alive. And
Big
so,
content check.
that's not great. That is 6.
It is, I'd say, based on what you're hearing, you have no reason to think that he's lying. As much as you can trust Gura. But as his goons or thugs sort of crowd the alleyway, he steps a bit closer, and he says, "Now, I'm familiar with the work that you've done, and I know you've got some skills. You're probably never going to fight in a ring around here again, but I imagine you could still bash a few skulls in, should you have the right motivation."
You might want to pick your next words carefully or you'll find out firsthand what that motivation feels like.
Looks around him. He says, "Now I know that you're not someone I'd want to tangle with mano a mano, but even you aren't dumb enough to pick a fight right now."
Don't be so sure.
Well, you can try to fight your way out of this alley, and maybe you'll get somewhere. Maybe you'll get away from me. But I know where that sweet cousin of yours hangs out, and your family. And I doubt you could get all of them out before my boys could make a move. So, if you want everything to stay the way it is, and you want everyone over there in that nice little home to stay nice and safe, when I call, you're going to come running like a good little dog and do what you're told. Or that family of yours won't be so lucky next time.
You don't think Jersey would object to you sending your goons into their territory?
It won't be Jersey's territory much longer. And your family is not what they're protecting right now. So, like I said, I'll be in contact. Don't go running off. And I think he sort of flicks the cigar at your feet, and he turns and walks through the crowd of thugs out of the alleyway. What do you do?
I wait until he and his thugs leave. Give them a little bit of time. And then I'm gonna go. Yeah. Let's see. So if we're in. I'm just trying to figure out the map. Yeah, we're pretty close relatively to Casa de Soto. So I'm just gonna book it over there, see what's up, make sure he hasn't jumped the gun or anything.
Okay. You go. You quickly make your way down the roads towards your family's home, and I think you reach Casa de Soto without incident. I think you do notice one thing though as you get there. There are 2 cars parked across the street, like vans parked across the street from your house, which aren't typically there in a residential neighborhood. They're sort of out of place. And there are 5 thuggish looking individuals, wearing leathers and looking a bit like rowdy boys, standing on one of the corners, just half a block over from your house, and they watch you as you approach the residence.
I make eye contact with all of them, and then just go on in and psychs himself up for probably getting sucked into family stuff for the next half hour or so as he goes in, just to make sure everything's okay, and checking to see if Pilar is around, or because he's not exactly sure where she is, but figures no, she lives here, should probably check in.
Yeah. I'm deciding about Pilar. I'm gonna say your I gotta pull up the freaking family tree. 1 second. You get there, everything's fine. I'll start with first and foremost, nobody is currently in any danger. I was looking for the name.
I mean, the matriarch we all just call Abuela.
Abuela. Okay, that's what I thought. It was a grandmother, not a mother.
Yep.
Okay, so your abuela is. I think she she's probably in like the sitting room. I don't really know what your house looks like. What is the sort of?
It's. I think we've said it's actually more of an apartment building, and just
Okay.
a vast proportion of the building is taken up by our family.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so, it's probably, each person technically is renting their own apartment, but they're just basically all kept unlocked. People come and go wherever. There's, some that are more.
I see. So
Yeah,
I got the visual now. So I think there's a lot of family that's kind of on the stairwell and like talking, and some people out front and stuff that are chatting and or smoking, or just doing their normal day-to-day stuff. As you get inside, though, I think your abuela, usually there's like a lobby area, or what would be a lobby area, but again, it's sort of like turned into almost a meeting area for your family that almost exclusively rents this apartment building. And I imagine your abuela just sitting in has like a rocking chair that she sits in the lobby almost all day, every day, to just talk to people as they come up and down the steps and
Pretty much.
engage in the family. And she sees you and she says, does she call you Sebastian, or does she have a nickname for you?
Sebastian, but most people in the family put on the full Elvish inflection, Sebastian.
Okay. I'm not going to try to do the accent because I could not even begin to. So I'm just going to go with my grandma voice. And she goes, Sebastian, what are you doing back here?
Morning, abuela. What? Can't an quasi-estranged nephew show up every once in a blue moon?
I suppose so, but normally when you're coming by, it means you want money or something. So I'm a little apprehensive.
It's fine, abuela. Just came by, check in, prove to you all that I'm still alive. See if Pilar's around. We're supposed to meet up later today, and thought, I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd try and catch her.
She just left about an hour ago.
All right. Well, thanks.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's just, with all the excitement in Upper Gothford, just checking in, seeing how you all are holding up. Seeing, hopefully it hasn't spilled too far over.
And they were, some of that news did get to us, and we're fine. Everyone in the family's okay. We're sticking close for now, just in case. But nothing's changed for us here. Everything's been quiet.
That's good. Although, I've been hearing some whispers on the street. Things might get, less than pleasant. And it might not be the worst idea to take a family vacation, get out of town for a few days.
I'd be afraid. I haven't left this block in I don't know how long now. I'm not really one for going on vacation. I'm sure some of the younger kids would like to go, but no, I'm comfortable here. If something happens, we've weathered worse, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I figured as much. And yeah, you're still around. Nothing's gonna. You'll be fine, but I might be popping in more often than I usually do. Just keep checking in, making sure nothing's coming your way. None of the nastiness uptown.
All right, then I definitely won't object to you come by and visiting more. I've missed your company. Maybe come by for dinner one of these nights.
Maybe. With my lifestyle, the evenings are the busiest.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make sure no one harasses Pilar when she's doing her performances in the clubs.
Well, whatever you and Pilar get up to in your nightlife, and it's probably not something I want to hear at my age, but just you stay safe too.
As safe as I can.
Well, here, give me a hug and then you can go.
I go in, give her a hug, probably snag someone's tamales or bits from some food nearby, because there's always food.
Yeah.
Around.
So yeah, she gives you a hug, and you maybe speak with a few of your family members and that are hanging around right now, grab a little bit of food and bounce out. Yeah. And those people are who you assume are maybe some of Gura's people are still watching from across the street. All right. So do you head back to the laundry joint?
Yeah, gonna head to the joint, but just make sure I lose any Nurian tails before getting close enough.
Yeah. You take a convoluted or circuitous enough path back to the laundry joint that you lose anyone along the way. Okay, so Cordelia, do you head to the laundry joint when you get up, or is there anything else you want to do?
No. I just go over there.
Okay. And then Enza, do you go to the joint before or after meeting with Galric? You've got enough time, I'd say, based on because I forgot the name already. And Thea came by pretty early, so
Yeah, it's probably gonna go talk to Galric first and then drop by.
So imagine you have a pretty a place where you normally meet Galric, where he hangs out. Maybe there's a bar or some sort of business that they use as a front up in Upper Gothford. Do you have any idea or any, or do you want me to just run with it?
Yeah, I feel maybe it's like it like looks like an accounting office.
Okay.
But that's not the type of paperwork. But I think it's totally a front though.
Okay.
There's something else.
So you head to make a note of that.
Yeah, and it's probably in Upper Ghostford.
Yeah, so you head across the bridge pretty early in the morning and make your way to the accounting firm. You have a name, like it's gonna go with like Nelson and Nelson.
I like it.
Public accountants.
Okay.
And head inside, or maybe there's a door around the back that you go through, the legitimate business only in the front. And you knock on the door, the steel door in the back, and it cracks open. There's a chain pulls taut, and somebody kind of looks at you from inside and then closes it again. You hear the chains coming off and it opens it. There is a probably like a closet that is sitting on a stool at the front door, and pushes it open and says, "Enza."
Morning.
Galric's in the back.
All right.
And you head down. There's a short hallway here, which ends at the door that would probably lead out to the main business, and then there's like an offshoot, and you follow that, and there are a couple of other like offices around here, and you see, or you come up to Galric's office, or what he uses, and head inside. The door's like partially ajar, and as you enter, you see the very small space, a desk with, on the other side of it, a we'll go with a tiefling man, heavy set, very very heavy set, tiefling wearing a like pinstriped black suit with white pinstripes. He currently has the jacket off and just has like the black suspenders and the white Oxford he's wearing underneath, and he's like sweating through it. It's very hot back here.
Got it.
And he there's probably maybe a little air conditioning fan and like a window up on the wall that is ventilating, but is not enough. And he sees you and doesn't stand up, but goes, "Enza, come in, sit down."
I heard you want to see me, sir.
I do. Well, I've got some. Actually, we're gonna need to move. Don't sit down. Get back up. And he grabs his jacket and I guess it stands up and says, "I've got someone who wants to meet you. Come on." And
right.
he walks, begins leading you out the door, and he says, "Thank you for coming by so quickly. I wasn't sure if Anthea would be able to find you as fast as she hadn't spoken to you in a while. So
Yeah, I'd rather if you didn't. Use her as a go-between.
Well, that's fine, but we had sent some people over to your apartment and you hadn't been there, so it was the only person I know who could have reached you."
Well, since y'all don't pay me, I have to get money a different way, so
Well,
I
all
was
right.
getting on jobs.
We won't bother her anymore. So,
Now, who do you want me to meet?
And he begins leading you down a set of stairs, like to a basement in the building. As you do, you realize it is getting much, much colder as you're heading down the steps, like supernaturally colder. And you actually begin to see your breath as you head down the stairs here. He says, "Are you familiar with everything that's going on right now, all the changes in our organization.
You could say that. Yeah, I've heard a lot.
Well, I'm sure you know that Finn is currently vying for control of this territory. Currently competing against Carmen and Victor, those traitors. Well, we've got some work that we think you might be good for, and Finn has some things to discuss with you. And he opens the door at the bottom of the stairs, and it leads into a large basement, which has mostly like boxes with files stored in them. But it looks like a lot of those have been pushed aside. And at the center of the room, there is a circular table with a few chairs around it, and a single light fixture kind of hanging above it. And sitting on the other side of the table, you see, by all intents and purposes, a human man wearing a white suit with sort of gold buttons and fittings, and he is currently looking over some papers on this table that are scattered all in front of him, and he doesn't so much react to your presence, and as you approach, you get kind of a better idea of his face. Very sort of angular, prominent features. Again, appears to be human with maybe middle-aged, likely slightly younger than middle-aged, in his early to 40s or so, with white hair. And as you approach, it just keeps getting colder. And he is and you're realizing that he is almost emanating this like extreme cold coming off of him. And Galric kind of stops you for a second and says, Mr. Stryker, I have Enza here. You wanted to speak with her. And Finn Stryker looks up, puts the papers down. He has these piercing blue eyes, and he says, thank you, Galric. Enza, is it?
That's correct, sir.
Please sit.
All right.
Galric just kind of, he stays in the room, but just kind of stays standing back away from the table. And Finn says, I don't believe we've ever formally met, given our structure here. But I know quite a bit about you. I am, you can call me Finn if you'd like, but I'm the one who's going to take over this territory now that Faust is gone.
All right.
And I know that your arrangement with us is to do some jobs in exchange for some services we provided for you. I'm willing to wipe the slate clean on all of that and start over with a fresh start between us. And I'm not asking for anything additional in return. I'm just going to give you some information that previously was kept from you. I wasn't the biggest fan of the way that Faust ran things. I respected the man, but his practices were convoluted, and he placed his trust in the wrong people. It's probably what got him killed.
I take it you are not one of those people?
You know better than anyone. I wouldn't admit if I was, but no, I don't believe myself to be one of those people, and I didn't have anything to do with the tragic events that took place the other night. But I am going to do, and I will level with you here, I'm going to take advantage of the situation as much as I can. And this means leveraging all of my resources, you included.
All right.
When you came to the table after your event and you made your deal with the devil, as it were, I know there was the circumstances leading up to it. There was an attack, and he actually pulls up a file and begins to flip through. He says, I believe some children were killed that you were protecting.
Yeah, that's correct.
And in exchange for our services in fixing the situation, you were indebted to the organization. He closes the file. He says, the monster that attacked those children and yourself.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a Bahir is.
You could say I'm quite familiar now. Intimately, in fact.
I'm not sure if you're also aware these creatures they were used regularly as sort of a guard dogs during our conflict with the Draconisi. Used regularly by the Mephistosi.
I was not aware of that.
There aren't many around now that we keep, but many of the elite guards, elite officers of the Mephistosi keep a few in cages for practicality, you might say. Well, the creature that attacked you was one of these guard dogs. And it was done at the command of Faust Mephistos. Now, and I think he kind of probably reads the maybe the tension as he says this. He says,
yeah,
when I took you under my wing and volunteered to take you into my part of the organization, I was aware that this had happened. You weren't made privy to this knowledge. Well, because it wouldn't have ended well for anyone involved. You would have been killed. Whoever told you would have been killed. And that would have been the end of that. I'm telling you now because the situation has changed. I'm in control, and I can decide who gets to know what and where. I'm telling you this now because I wasn't involved in that decision. But I know who was, besides Faust, who's obviously no longer with us, and I apologize, I can't help you get your revenge for that. But the lieutenant who carried out his order is still very much around.
You don't say.
Currently one of the others that is vying for power within the Mephistosi elite. Carmen Ettlinger was the dog who carried out the order. I'm afraid I don't have much information for you other than that Faust commanded the attack. I don't know the reasons for it or why he wanted you as a part of our organization, but all I know is he informed us that you would be a benefit to our structure.
No offense, sir, but how can I know that you are speaking truthfully? I mean, Faust isn't here. It's easy to just blame him for something like this, and Carmen seems to be a potential rival.
You're right. I don't have much information, much in the way of proof. And it would be very easy for me to, of course, make up this story in hopes that you might continue to work for us. But I also could have told you nothing and kept the debt, and nothing would have changed. So I hope that says something to you, that I'm offering this freely. And that, as I said, and he reaches into the file and pulls out a sheet of paper, like a contract. He says, I'm willing to relinquish any debt that we have over you here and now. In fact, I will do so without any further guarantees from you, as a sign of good faith. And he takes the paper, and I think he holds out his hand, and there's an inkwell in front of him, and you watch as like a thin, like almost like a pencil or a long shard of ice forms in his hand, and he dips it into the inkwell and then signs it on the paper, which then he flicks across the table, and it slides over in front of you. And there is a contract that signed by now Finn Stryker that relinquishes any debt that you owe to the Mephistosi.
Oh, man.
And he says, and you can walk out right now if you'd like. But I'm willing to offer you a job, a partnership, one where you'll be paid and compensated for your work as long as you help.
When you say help, do you mean same type of work I've been doing?
Yes, but with specific targets. I need your help in taking out my competition, which would include Carmen. You get your revenge. I get peace of mind.
Do I trust this guy? I don't know. Can I insight?
You can insight.
This sounds way too good to be true. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. What is my insight? That is 25.
Nice. You know enough about the Mephistosi to know that very few things are as everything with them is supposed to be too good to be true. That's how they make their living.
Yeah.
As far as everything that he is telling you with the business with Carmen, with Faust, everything like that, I don't think, as far as you can tell, you're getting any indication that he's lying. Whether you can trust him is a different story. I think just innately, you're insightful enough to know he is not telling you everything in every plan that he has. But with the specifics and what he's going into about Carmen and Faust and the plan and how that happened, I think you're gathering there is there is a definite hint of sincerity to what he is saying, as sincere as a devil can be.
Oh, man.
And maybe sensing some of your apprehension, he says, again, I'm not requiring any oaths to be made or fealty to be pledged here. I'd like this to be a partnership. But you can take your time and think about it if you'd like. The deal is on the table. The sooner I could get help, the better. I actually have a job in mind that we would need to be carried out fairly quickly in order to get what we need done. We're currently making a move on some Nurian territory. And, well, I think you might be able to help. We don't have to go into any business beyond this, but if you're willing to accept this job, I'm willing to pay you for it. And I think he reaches underneath the table and pulls up a small bag and drops it. And as he does, like 3 essence gems comes like tumbling out of a bag that clearly has more in it. And he says, I'm willing to provide you payment in the form of gems or currency, if you'd like, whatever you prefer. But we're making our move on this territory regardless. And I need you to, well, I need you to kill someone for me.
All right.
I can give you the details now if you're willing to listen, and if you do the job, I'll pay you, and we can discuss further arrangements from there. If you don't, then I'll have your answer.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm willing to listen. Be a good test job of this potential partnership, as you say.
He smiles, big smile, and says, fair enough. There's a brothel on the corner of 12th Avenue and Acre Street in Lower Gothford, in the territory that we're looking to take over. Mm-hmm. There is a woman, and he reaches into the file and throws a photo across the table to you, which slides in front of you, of a middle-aged halfling woman with gray-blue hair. He says, named Wisdom Edison. If you take her out, sooner the better. Hopefully today, if possible. The payment is yours.
Why the quick turnaround time? Something going down today?
We are looking to make our move tonight on this territory. And Wisdom is one of the officers in charge with this sector, this region. You take her down, things become easier for us. Jersey, the Nurian leader of this territory right now, is formidable, has a sizable army almost. We don't have the numbers, but if we can sow chaos amongst the ranks, it'll be easier for us to take. Shouldn't take more than a single shot. You just have to decide if you want to take it.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Give me a lot to think about. And I'll take care of Wisdom.
I hope so. I think, as I said, our partnership would benefit greatly now that we can have more trust between us. And I'm hoping that we can make up for, well, the mistakes of our organization in the past. I plan on there being a lot of changes around here once everything has calmed down.
All right.
He looks towards Galric, and Galric says forward, says, sir, and Stryker says, make sure that she has anything that she needs, and we'll conduct our business later. And Galric says, of course. And he looks to you and says, after me. And he walks ahead of you towards the exit.
Okay. And she follows.
Okay. And I think you hear a call from behind you, Finn say, happy hunting. And you leave the basement, and it gets about 40 degrees warmer as you do. As you make your way up the steps, and Galric says, That went pretty well, I believe. I hope we get to keep working together, and I'm sorry for all of this and how all this happened. I wasn't a part of the attack that Finn mentioned, but I hope you don't think that I had anything to do with it.
You're just a. I don't want to worry about you.
He gives a confused look. Says, oh, all right. And I'll stay away from Anthea.
She doesn't have to worry about.
Good luck then. And he heads into his office.
Enza heads to Cliff's joint.
Okay. So we will pick up with all of you guys maybe mid to late, or no, we'll go sort of late morning, early afternoon, middle of the day. You all finally make your way or regroup back in Clove's laundry joint.
I guess I've been there for a little while.
You've probably been there for a little while at this point. Let's go ahead and take our break here before anything else picks up, because I don't know what's going to happen next. You guys can think about what you want to do. And then we will see where the rest of the session goes. So we'll be back in a few minutes, everyone. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us on our break. Don't have anything else to announce. No purchases in the chat. Thank you all for watching. So let's just go ahead and jump back into it then. So you all reconvene after your different adventures this morning. I think Enza probably coming in last, having to come back from Upper Gothford, but not too far behind the rest of you. Cordelia probably having been there for the longest, and maybe a couple drinks, early morning drinks in.
Yeah. I think
Couple Bloody Marys.
she's been reading.
Yeah.
And drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you all gather back in the laundry joint together. Who wants to tell their story first?
Well, that's why Cordelia's been drinking all morning.
But Cordelia's just alone, right? Or does she have a friend?
Is she?
Well, okay, so yeah, let's do this. Let's just get this all on the table. So
Yay.
I think, Cordelia, you are sitting at a table with, or you're sitting at the bar with Nikolai.
Not Hartford, though. He's not.
Huh?
Is Detective Hartford here?
No, Hartford is not here. Just
Okay.
Nikolai.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I didn't invite him, but he
No,
keeps showing up places.
I
He
mean, he
does.
might show up.
Who knows?
She's gonna walk around the corner clapping and
This guy.
well.
If he's
No.
not the big bad at the end of the campaign.
I was going more for like a Nick Fury, like he's gonna assemble the Avengers and you guys are gonna go off and
Nice.
stop.
We're not good enough for that.
Yeah. So yeah, we probably will just say, for the sake of brevity, then. So you're sitting at the bar with Nikolai and Sebastian and Enza enter, coming down the steps.
Morning. Or afternoon.
Does it matter?
Is that a friend, Cordelia?
Oh, how rude of me. Yes, Enza, Sebastian. This is Nikolai. Nikolai, friends of mine.
Pleasure to meet all of you.
Same.
He just takes a drink.
So, we have some things to discuss.
You
Yeah.
too, huh?
I see.
We all got
had a rough
things?
night. Let's get a table.
I'll get the round of drinks for everyone.
Thank you.
Well, thanks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a table.
So I think I like the scene of this better. You guys all know everything that's happened in the last we as players and viewers know. So I like the scene if you guys go towards the table and we just have like a star wipe to all of you sitting around the table having just told everyone everything, unless there's anything anyone's keeping. But I like the idea of just like everyone has put all their cards on the table and we can just get the reactions right afterwards.
Yeah.
I was just like silence for 30 seconds as we all decide what we're gonna hide from each other.
I mean, I don't think Seb would have anything to hide with this, and I think he'd probably. Well, we'll see if anyone else has other things to hide.
I think Enza would say that would like explain that like Anthea was able to identify something, the spells, and that she got asked to do a job, but probably wouldn't have gone into details about that's a potential deal yet.
Okay. So Enza is telling them about Anthea, about the magic spell, the magic that is currently affecting you, and that you have a job from the Mephistosi.
Yeah, that like needs to happen today.
But you don't tell them that you met with Stryker or anything.
No, probably mentions that it was Stryker, but not that he's like offering a partnership or any of those details.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cordelia.
I think Cordelia's will tell them pretty much everything.
Okay.
All the stuff about her mom. And about Hartford and Nikolai being an undercover cop, and about the police chief and everything like that. But she does not offer up how she knows Nikolai.
Okay. So everything except for who Nikolai
unless
really is.
asked.
Okay. So we know from Cordelia about the Nosfori taking over the police.
About her mom selling her out.
About her mom selling her out. And I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the big.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And that now she's got 2 cops on her side.
Yeah, and Nikolai and Hartford are both undercover, or are both cops, former partners that are trying to fix the corruption within the department. And then from Sebastian, everything that happened this morning.
Yeah. And I think the thing about, being told that he should be dead, he just kind of laughs off as like, probably someone playing up what they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Star Wipe, all those conversations happen, and you guys are all sitting around the
Everyone
table.
takes a big drink.
Yeah. There's probably a few empty bottles in front of all of you now.
When did our lives get so complicated?
I think when we started hanging out with each other.
I blame the dragons.
Yeah. That's what we should do. Fuck the dragons.
Came in here messing everything up.
Yeah. I should say I've been thinking about it. And I think I owe you a little bit of an apology. Because it was kind of selfish and you were kind of right not to trust my family. So
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. I don't know, just something about them and your mom fell off, and I just don't.
I mean, I knew something was off. I just think I grew up with it. So sorry for being a bitch.
You're fine. So, I don't know if you guys have immediate plans for today, but I've got a job for us, as I explained.
Yeah.
Or interested in something like that.
The only thing I'm worried about is if that's messing with Jersey's power base. Seems like they're the only thing keeping Gura in line right now. Which means the main thing, stopping him from going after my family, because I'm not going when he calls. Or at least, no, not in good faith.
Well, if we can cause enough chaos in the ranks of the dogs, they might lose sight of your family a little bit. And they've garnered a new hatred for the Nurians in the past couple of days.
Yeah, they never were my favorites. And I understand needing to maintain the balance of power, but fuck Gura. He's dying.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't take him on right there.
We should have killed him when we had the chance.
Probably. And definitely thought about it, Enza, but no, for all my bluster, 10 at once might have been a bit much.
Can't believe it. He's got limits.
Well, mostly because Pilar would kill me if I died.
Fair enough.
Yeah, she probably found a way to bring you back and then kill you again.
It was smart of you not to engage with him.
Yeah,
For once.
mostly so I can just fuck him over harder when he's not expecting it.
Well, your family's not willing to temporarily relocate, are they?
No, Abuela's been there certainly as long as I've been alive. She's not gonna move, and if she's staying, most of the family's gonna be staying.
Your abuela would die before she'd let someone be more stubborn than her.
Where do you think I got it from?
I know that none of you know me that well, but I could potentially reach out to some friends of mine to make sure that your family stays safe in the Nurian territory. I do still have some contacts there that's I could probably still trust.
That would help. Yeah, because as much as I want to go after Guru today, doesn't seem like that's quite on the table. Besides, he's probably looking for it.
I'll see who I can talk to. At that moment too, just to add to the complication,
Oh, great.
Cordelia, you get a ascending spell.
What?
You get a message beamed into your mind brain.
I was afraid of this.
From Aya.
The other estranged family, the aliens.
No, from Aya, that
All right.
instructing you. Let me see. Let me get the name here. She says, "Good work yesterday. Meet me at Morwith's. ASAP."
Okay. Oh yeah, and one other thing. I heard from Aya again. She said, good job. She wants me to meet her ASAP. So I guess I do have something to do today.
All right.
It's like we have a lot of somethings we could be doing today.
Well, Enza's job came to the table first.
Yeah, but I don't want to endanger your family, Seb.
Yeah, but no. Gur said he'd be in touch, and so no. As much of an asshole as he is, I think I can assume the family's safe until I say no. And he hasn't come calling yet today, so...
That's a good point. Just gotta make sure you don't get spotted by any Nurian, right? See you acting out.
I think as long as I don't go, busting skulls in his territory, shouldn't be too much of an issue.
That's true. Maybe he would appreciate it. There's less competition.
Nikolai, this might be too much to ask, but I'm assuming the answer is no, but you don't have any old family friends left. That could help us out.
With the assassination or with Gura?
With Gara. Any inside information is extremely helpful, or we can get it.
As far as Gura's concerned, I'm not entirely sure. He was a pup the last time I saw him.
Still pretending to be a big bad doggo.
So I don't know how much has changed that he is the one that's in charge now. I'd imagine that any contacts that I had probably jumped ship if winds were blowing in his direction, but I can reach out and see if there's anyone. I did have a thought. If you are Enza, right? If you're trying to assassinate somebody in Jersey's territory, and Sebastian, you can't be seen in that territory, it seems like the simple solution is, Sebastian, you should just be as far away from there as possible when it happens. I can offer the help. I can escort you, Enza, and I can help you get to where you need to be to take the shot. I'm familiar with those streets pretty well.
And you're okay with all this? Aren't you like a cop?
I haven't been a cop for some time now.
Got it.
And the rules have changed a bit. I trust Cordelia, and she trusts the rest of you. So I'm not going to shy away from dropping a few bodies if it means making the city safer in the long run.
It might.
My partner might have a different side of things, but we won't tell him.
Yeah, that would be good. You didn't know, I think. At least for now.
So what you're saying, you go with Enza, deal with Wisdom, I back up Cordelia and whatever Aya wants today?
That seems to be the best option based on the resources you have. Unless, Cordelia, do you have other preferences as far as getting these jobs done?
No. That seems to be the best course of action. It's kind of you to offer.
Least I can do. Well, Enza, I guess you and I will go hunt some rats then.
All right. Let us know if you need help with whatever I wants you to do.
Yeah. Be careful.
All right. So we'll have Enza and Nikolai will head on their
Buddy cop show.
buddy cop tour to the Nurian territory, and we will have Sebastian and Cordelia, the two of you, heading to meet up with Aya. I'd like to do the scene with Aya first. So you two head your way, or make your way back through the financial district and towards the Marwitz Medicine in the West Circle. You enter the shop. Why didn't it ring? It's not ringing.
It says it's now playing.
Oh no.
Did it break?
Oh no, we broke
My
the bell.
bell shop sound effect broke.
Campaign is over.
I can't do it without the bell.
Just saw the chat. Working fork.
That's very good.
I like that. I'm really mad. My music broke. Okay, fine. We're just gonna move on with that.
Ding.
Okay, you guys enter the ding 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 ding. Enter the store, and Marwith is in the back, and he sees you and says, "Try to remember his voice. Oh, Cordelia. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, right. That. Come back here."
Thanks.
And he leads you to the back of the shop. But instead of this music isn't what I want for this scene anyway. We need more drama.
That's pretty rocking.
It was very rocking. That's not really what I'm looking for as far as tone, because as you enter the back of the shop, instead of the like scrying portal that you used before, there are 6 individuals back here. Some of them wearing robes, some are wearing suits, but one of them with the kind of frazzled hair and a more kind of wild look, wearing a blue and silver like tunic and pants. You see in the flesh Aya Sharp, with an escort. And one of them comes up to you, Cordelia, and one of them goes up to you, Sebastian, and I think they sort of like pat you down.
They would find, my various throwing knives that are secreted about my person.
Okay. Do either one of you have either one of you have any weapon, like pistols, any firearms?
I carry a wand.
You do have a wand
And a broom.
So I think what they take is they take the knives, throwing knives, and they take the wand.
I whispered to the one that's hiding down, like, it's really cute that you think I need that.
They don't say anything. They keep a straight face.
Good. Good job, boys.
But they bring your belongings and grab your belongings and step to the side, and Aya gives a faint smile and says, "Thank you for coming so fast."
Of course. Nice to see you in person.
I hope you understand I'm trying to remember the voice actor. I hope you understand the reason that we couldn't meet in person originally.
Of course.
I would very much like to discuss further arrangements with, I assume, the two of you, since you're the only ones that are here.
The others are away on other business, but continue to be part of our team.
Well, you're the one anyway that I need to speak with, Cordelia, since you're the one that's heading up negotiations with our side of things.
Of course.
Why is it that you want to work with us?
Like I told you last time, security for myself and my friends, mostly. It's a strange new world out there, what with dragons about. I've done a lot for the family over the last 10 years. I'd like to keep doing it knowing that we're secure.
My plans are to run things a bit differently than the way the Calverts were doing things, the way Lila intends to do things.
Boring, you mean? The way Lila intends to do things.
That's one way to say it. And I want to shift the status quo. But the one thing that I require more than anything else is loyalty, trust. From the people I've spoken with over the last few hours or so, since last night, they speak pretty highly of you. Say you're someone that gets their work done. And I'm willing to even overlook some blood relations of yours for the sake of mutual partnership.
I'm willing to overlook them as well.
And I don't mean to be misunderstood. I have nothing against your kin. Personally.
If you'd met my mother, you might say otherwise.
Fair enough. But despite that, I think a lot of the rules put in place that restrict the use of certain magics and certain people's ability to live within our fair city here is a bit, well, it's overdue for some change.
I'm glad.
I'd like your advice in this matter when the time comes, seeing as you have a first-hand experience dealing with these things.
Okay.
However, as I said, I like to ensure loyalty. So, if you want in, there is there's an assurance that I require. A blood oath.
Interesting. Like Sunday dinner with the family for me.
She smiles and says, if you're willing to do this, then you're in.
What are the terms?
You swear loyalty to me, and I'll give you the power and the assistance you need. But the oath that you're taking, well, it's one of mutual trust. That I will keep you safe, as I do the rest of my officers and the rest of my family here. And you remain loyal to me. And the consequence for breaking this oath is death.
On both sides?
On both sides.
You know, I think I can work with that.
Fair enough. So come here. And she walks over to the other side of the room and there.
Can I invite Aya? Make sure she's not feeding us a load of garbage.
Sure.
Oh, that's much better than the Inside Angora 17.
17. Yeah, as far as what you're picking up here, there's no... She's not planning on murdering you guys as far as the intent goes. There seems to be... There's tension in the room. And I think you're gathering this sort of... She's sort of probing the air, and maybe there's a bit of uncertainty from Aya as to whether or not Cordelia would actually accept this offer. But I think you're getting that everything here seems to be above board. And so she walks to the other side of the room, and there is that you couldn't see before because there were people blocking it, but there is on the ground, inscribed in chalk, a ritual circle on the ground.
Does it look legit?
Make an Arcana check.
What's my Arcana? Probably good, right? Trying to get my sheet to load. Oh yeah, 21.
21. Nice. Okay, so essentially what this is, I think you are familiar with this spell a little bit. It looks like it's been modified a bit for this purpose, but this is essentially a bestow cursed spell. And as Aya goes to stand in it, based on the arcane glyphs and the warding there, essentially it will bestow a curse upon any party that is standing in it to maintain the some sort of agreement, so to maintain the this curse of loyalty to each other. So that's essentially what you're working with here.
Okay.
Do you step into the circle?
Yeah.
All right. You step in, and she pulls from her hip, or draws from her hip, a ritual dagger, which she draws across her hand and hands to you.
Do the same thing.
Okay. As she does this, she
unflinching.
Yeah. She sort of maintains that slight smile as she does, and she holds out her hand to you.
Put my hand in hers.
Okay. As you clasp hands, she whispers a few words in sort of the arcane tongue, and the ritual circle ignites in this red, like crimson glow for a moment. And she says, she kind of whispers across to you. She says, "And we incite the words. I, Sharp, swear my loyalty to the person that stands before me, bound in blood, until my death."
I'll repeat it back to her. With my name in it. Obviously.
And as that happens, there's a final flash there, and the ritual circle dies down, and you look down at your arm, and you can see on your forearm a symbol appears there in the form of a as cats run by in the form of this like starburst form, like this explosion
Starburst.
of energy. Yeah, like starburst candy. It's a constant. This episode brought to you by Starburst.
I wish.
No, in the form of like an exploding sun, like this like chaotic swirl of energy forms there in this almost like tattoo impression. You look at Aya's arm, and you can see she has about a dozen of these symbols on her arm, and one of them appears on hers amidst all the others, which, if you had to boil the essence of Cordelia down into a single symbol, what do you think that symbol would be?
I wish you had asked me 2 weeks ago so I could
Nope,
think
do it
about
now on the spot. I was going to go with a bat, but I don't want to just like...
Oh no. Yeah, we'll do a bat.
Okay. So this like stylized bat appears
Cordelia
on,
does have a tattoo of a bat, so
yeah,
that's good.
near her wrist. And she then places a hand on her shoulder, not the non-bloody one, on your shoulder,
That's
and
it's an
says,
expensive suit.
"Welcome to the family, sister."
Thank you. Nice touch. We usually got to pay a lot of money for those.
That one's on the house. She looks to the others in the room, who a lot of them are kind of giving a smile, and some of them walk over to you and shake your hand, sort of introduce themselves. So you get some names. I'm not going to go through them all right now, but you get the names of the other, some of the other officers, not all of them being there at this time. And she says, "Well, to business then. I have another job for you, if you don't mind taking it at this point in time. It's actually a fairly easy one.
Like the last one you sent me on.
Easier. This one is, I just need you to deliver a package.
Okay.
We're looking to expand our operation to the Zartano territory in retaliation for the events of yesterday. I need you to take a package to a informant of ours named Ralnir. There's a cafe over on the corner of 113th Street near the river. Take it to them, and that should be it. Should be enough to set us up in a fairly good place to move our operation forward. You think you can do that?
I do.
Now, I'm not going to ask the rest of your friends here to take an oath. I'm holding you to their responsibility and their care. If any of them should act against us, you should know how to handle that.
I trust them.
The only other thing I'll say, and one of them comes forward with this package. It's just a brown paper wrapped box. So holding it, she says, the only circumstance and the only order I'll give you in all of this is don't open it under any circumstances.
Sure. Don't have to tell me twice.
I'm not going to say this is a test of our newfound trust, but, well, I'll know. Obviously.
I care about myself too much to open whatever dangerous box this is.
Fair enough. We should be having a meeting later this week, myself and the other officers who have sworn their loyalty to me as well, about our plans going forward. I'll give you the time and the place when it gets closer.
I look forward to your call.
She reaches her, again, non-bloodied hand out to shake her hand.
I will shake her hand.
And as she steps back, there is a flash of light, and she teleports out of the room.
Well, okay.
Along with the rest of the ones with her. They're not just awkwardly standing there. It's just you and Sebastian.
How do you two know each other?
Yeah, it's just you and Sebastian and Morwith now.
So, this keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, I guess it just feels a bit fast for us all to be allying ourselves with lieutenants, but I guess that's what you gotta do in these sorts of situations.
I've been allied with this family for 10 years. They were going to make me pick a side eventually, so I got out in front of it.
Fair enough. I've just been, free agent for most of my time. Maybe picking a side doesn't sit that well with me.
Yeah. No one's going to make you.
we'll see.
As long as you're on my side today.
Yeah. I guess we've got a package to deliver, but before that, as long as we're over here in West Circle, let's stop by Craig's, see if he's got my fancy new jacket for me.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So you swing over to Craig's, and are you going to open the package?
I don't open it, but can I? It's not like ticking or anything, is it?
No, it's not ticking. It's a pipe bomb.
What's that mysterious ticking noise?
No, it's not ticking. It actually, there's no sound to it. It feels like solid, like whatever the box inside of it must be made of wood or something, and it has some heft to it. But it is, yeah, it's nothing sliding around inside, as far as you can tell.
Okay. I'll put it in my bag, so I'm not just carrying around a weird box.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that big. It's like a small jewelry box size almost.
I can't believe it took me 10 sessions of this game to get a curse put on my character.
Yeah, go to mark that on a sheet too.
This
Blood
was very restrained of me.
Yeah. So blood oath taken or blood curse with
Okay.
Aya Sharp.
Mutual suffering.
Yeah. Well, essentially, yeah. Mutual. Well, one-sided suffering depends on who betrays the other one first. So yeah, you go ahead over to Arlington's Antiquities and pick up your jacket.
Yeah, a duster.
Yes, your
Ooh.
duster of protection, which you can don. And we'll have to go through. Craig doesn't have anything exciting to say today.
Does it look good?
That's up to Sebastian. I would hope that he would have picked out a duster that looked good.
Yeah, no, it looks very good, and it is, noticeably newer than most of his other clothes and fancier, and it's very nice.
It's got rhinestones on it, and
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
it's very understated. It's not ostentatious, but it's very clearly of high quality.
okay, nice. I don't know if it requires attunement.
I'm looking in the DMG right now.
Wait, we got our weapons back, right?
Yes, you did.
Before everyone
No,
teleported
they
away.
teleported away, and then one of them teleported back. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to give these back to you. And then they
Okay.
teleported.
It does
Pay money
require
for that.
attunement.
It does. Okay, you guys can take the hour to do that if you want.
Yeah, I think so. I forget, does my medallion require attunement? I would assume so. Yep. So I'm
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and do, before you guys deliver your package, let's do, while you're doing your tuning and going to Craig's, we'll go back to Enza and and Nikolai. Cops on patrol.
Not cops. Neither of us are cops.
No, neither of you are cops. You head.
Pretend to be cops.
You could.
Fake cops on patrol.
All right.
You head into Nurian territory, and I think there's probably a little bit of awkward, just awkward silence between the two as you're walking there initially. As you get into Lower Gothford, though, I think Nikolai says, "So you from around this area, or are you?"
Not originally, actually. I mean, I've lived in the city for a while, but I'm not really from here. How about you?
Actually, I grew up in Gothford. I was I was in the Nurian for a long time. So I spent a long time in this area before joining the GCPD. Not that anyone here would remember me. Most likely, it's been a long time. That most people assume that I'm dead now.
Really? That's
Yes.
interesting.
What happens when you don't talk to people for 10 years? So,
That makes sense. So, I mean, this might be too much to ask, but how do you know Cordelia?
Oh, I assumed she would have said something, but it's probably not my place to say it if she hasn't. We go back a ways.
All right.
But we've known each other for some time before. I left the city for a while. Part of the everyone thinking I'm dead thing, and we knew each other before that.
All right.
How about you? Have you known Cordelia for long?
Not too long. I mean, we've been working together on some jobs recently, and kind of met her through Pilar. I don't know if you've met her yet.
I have not. I don't think.
Well, you're missing out. She's pretty great. I bet she would love you.
That's good to hear.
She loves most people she meets.
Well, all right. Feel less special now. And as you reach like the end of that street, he actually motions says we should head this direction, and like ducks down an alleyway, and he says, I want to get us there as quickly as possible to, what did you say, 100 and
Oh, did I write it down?
I'm looking for where what I said the name of the street was. It was on 12th Avenue and Acre Street. So yeah, he says
Brothel.
Yeah. He says, I'm fairly familiar with the area. There should be, well, I'm assuming you're planning on using I think he motions to the bag you're carrying with you.
Yeah, he probably saw me like cleaning it out and getting it prepped.
Assuming you're wanting to take care of this from a distance, there are some buildings not too far from the brothel that you may be able to use as cover. I would like it if we didn't run into anybody on the way there, though. So, and so you duck down a few alleyways, down the streets, and eventually you get into the sort of territory 20 that we have marked on the map, and to 12th Avenue. And he kind of stops as you come around the corner and just leans out, and he motions for you and kind of points down the road, and you can see among some of the like shorter buildings, there's one that like 3-story building which has like very obviously kind of been painted over with some like red highlights along the frames and stuff, and has like sort of more ostentatious appearance to everything else. And there are it's earlier in the day, so I don't think there's anybody out on the street right now or anything.
Okay.
I think there are probably maybe a couple of men and women like sitting on the steps of the building that are like maybe smoking or something at this point, but it's pretty quiet right now. And Gura looks around, and there are some bigger buildings around. He says, well, I don't know. Huh?
You said Gura.
Or not Gura.
I was like, wait a minute. Who am I with?
Sorry.
I know I have questionable taste in men, but like, come on.
Nikolai says,
Okay, good.
I don't know where would be easiest for you, where you have the most. I'm not a marksman, so I don't know where would be the best situation, but my recommendation would be one of these buildings on the south side here. We should be able to get in without too much difficulty. I don't know if that you can make a shot from that distance, though.
Got some pretty good range on this thing, and I've had to do something like this before. But since you mentioned that you don't particularly want to be seen around here, I think I've got something for that. And she'll pull some ashes out of her bag and like throw it in the air and cast Pass Without Trace.
Nice. Okay. And what is the range on your rifle, by the way? Because I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head.
It is 80 to 240.
Okay.
240 is the bigger number. So I think that's
240 feet. So that, yeah, you'd probably want to be one of the buildings directly across the street, but you could from the angle. None of these buildings, I mean, we're not talking about like 20-story buildings or anything. So it's like 3 or 4-story buildings. So you can make the shot from there. So
Okay.
so you cast Pass Without a Trace, and I'll have both you and Nikolai will make stealth checks.
Oh, okay.
Which I need.
Yeah, let me click the thing. Boop.
This character sheet. Load, please. He is not very stealthy, so this is probably a good
Awesome.
good call on your part.
Yay, ranger spells.
I'll put. Let's see. Yeah, no stealth proficiency, so just a straight. Oh, well, that's a natural 20
Whoa, dang.
or
Good
a
job,
20. So that'll be so 30.
So he's more sneaky than I am. I got 26.
26. Okay. Well, he knows the area, so
Yeah, that makes okay.
We'll get that. That makes sense. So like the night, the two of you, I think, duck down another. You kind of briefly come out onto the sidewalk and then duck down another alleyway. He finds a like a side door to one of these apartment buildings. He shakes it a bit, and it appears to be locked. And I think he'll just throw his shoulder into it. Strength check. Well, that's a natural 1 on a strength check, so that's not
buddy.
so he throws shoulder, and it doesn't move. He goes, shit. He says, "You don't have anything that might get through this, other than me just pounding on this for the next few minutes."
I mean, I could try to. Yes, I have thieves' tools proficiency. I don't think I have thieves' tools though.
Oh, you bought some, didn't you?
No, Seb bought
That was
some.
me who bought them.
Oh, that was right.
I didn't realize I didn't have any. Or I should have bought some then.
No.
Okay.
If you want to drop the money on it, you could have gotten some.
Okay. How much is one? A set?
I think it's
50. It might be
50.
25. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be
Yeah, he stealthed so well he forgot how to open doors.
Yeah, 25.
25. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let's say I bought one. All right,
Okay.
I'll mark that off on my do
It just feels weird that you'd have the proficiency in it and then
and not have tools.
not own any.
A bunch of other crap.
Yeah.
Just not these tools.
Okay, so you take them and go to make a check with your thieves' tools using dexterity.
Okay. Oh, that was not on the thing. Okay. So 17. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, that is definitely enough. You spend maybe about a minute just kind of picking at the lock very quietly. Nikolai keeping watch until finally click. The door opens and you head inside this stairwell, probably like an employee's access stairwell, and begin to wind your way up all the way to the roof of the building, where the roof access door, you're able to open it from the inside and sort of prop it open with a brick or something. And you have a good vantage point on the building. So Enza, the hunter, Enza, the sniper, what is your game plan for finding and taking out this individual?
Okay, well, I have like a general description of her.
You have a photo.
Oh, I have a photo even.
Yeah.
Heck, I forgot about that. Well, and I can see, I'm guessing I'm looking at like the front of the building, like the entrance, from like the angle that we're at.
Yeah.
mean, it's probably gonna scope it out for a while, see who like comes and goes. If we need to, and if he's willing, maybe send Nikolai in as a potential customer. If
Okay.
he's willing. If I need to, if I don't see her come out to greet anybody. I don't know how open this brothel is.
No, I like this though.
Get 'em.
So I think with Nikolai, so I think you're watching. Yeah, I mean the windows that mostly have curtains pulled, and
Yeah.
like it's not easy to see inside. It's very dark. However, I think there is probably one like a moment where you see someone matching her prescription. You see a small older halfling, a woman like come near the entrance. You never really get the clear shot, but I think you see you get an idea that she is in there. And I think there is a brief moment of pause between the two of you as you're debating this, and then you propose this idea to Nikolai. Well, let's do this in character. I want to hear Enza say this.
Well, we know that she is in there, but I need a good reason for her to come out. And you seem like a strapping enough fellow who might be interested in the sort of business that happens down there.
Nikolai, I think, sighs and just I think you're both like kneeling near the edge of this building and looking out over it, and he turns around and slumps and just kind of goes, why did I know when I volunteered for this job that something like this was going to happen?
Sometimes you just gotta be open to things, and I'm glad you came along.
Do you want me to get her to come outside?
Yeah, and I think maybe, you have involvement of being undercover. Maybe if you're pretending that you're someone who frequents an establishment like that, that could be your cover.
All right. Sure. I can make this work. I've done undercover work for most of my life. I'm sure I can. It's like riding a bike. Okay. I'll see if I can get her to come outside. If not, I'll try to get her near one of the windows.
Perfect.
Fair enough. Just be ready, I guess. And
I got your back. I'll be watching.
Once you take the shot, though, get out of here as quickly as you can. We probably shouldn't go straight back to the laundry joint.
That's a good idea.
There is a park to the north of here. Let's head that direction. I'll meet you there, and then we can take a longer way back. Lose anybody that might be following us. All right?
That's a good idea. You talking about the park by the waterfront?
Yes, that's one. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I like going to parks around here.
Okay. Let's meet there then. I don't think that they'd anticipate us heading further into their territory if they're looking for somebody who's running away. So, all right.
You got this.
Here. Take this, and he actually takes out. I think he has like some probably has a wallet with some ID cards and stuff in it and things like that. And he takes that out and hands it to you, so just in case. But he He does before he hands it to you, reaches in and takes like I'm trying to think of how we do wallets in fantasy. That it doesn't carry money in his wallet because we're using gold pieces. I should have converted this to paper currency. It's not too
You can
late.
say that it's paper, but
Paper,
we call it gold because maybe it's got like gold lettering on it or something.
Let's do that. We're changing the the way that this works now because I like it too much. He takes
He pulls out some bills.
yeah, he takes the cash out of his wallet and hands it back to you. And tucks that into his pocket and says, "All right, be right back." And he heads down the steps.
Good luck, buddy.
So you watch the scene unfold beneath you as you see Nikolai make his way across the street. There's probably like a woman standing near the like corner, and he goes and talks to her for a little bit, and there's like a brief conversation before she leads him back towards the building. And then it's just quiet for a while. I think like 5 minutes pass and you're watching the entrance. I'm going to have you make a perception check.
Oh, okay. Perception. Oh no, that wasn't very good.
Oh no.
A 10.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So here's what happens. You're keeping an eye on the building front and watching like the windows and get an idea. There's one moment you see some of the windows, like the curtains move and it opens up. However, as you look down the sights of your gun, the person standing in it isn't Nikolai, and it's you don't recognize them. It's like an young man opens the windows and kind of looks out for a second and then closes them back.
Okay.
So you wait a little bit longer. And then after a moment, I think maybe just staring down and like having to refocus yourself, you're trying to maintain as much focus as you can. You realize one of the other windows, the curtains has been drawn open, and as you look in, you can see Nikolai there. And you didn't catch it when it opens. You quickly kind of pan up, and you can see Nikolai kind of towards it's like the second story, and he is speaking with somebody, and across the room, as you can see in the window, you see you see Wisdom. You see the halfling woman. She's currently seems to be speaking with Nikolai and somebody else in the room, but she's not near the window, so she is going to have some cover. It's going to be a pretty difficult shot. What do you do?
Oh man. Well, I probably can't hunter's marker from this far away, huh? It's
What's the range on Hunter's Mark?
It's 90 feet.
You're on like the second floor spot. I'd say within 90 feet you can Hunter's Marker.
Okay. Oh, but I don't have third level spells yet. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna hunter's marker at first level. Just in case. I'll do that. Okay. Okay. And then I don't have anything that could make me hit the shot better than just going for it, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just like looking at my stuff. Yeah, I think I just gotta. Unless she's secretly a dragon.
No, doesn't seem. You're not getting any dragon. Want some dramatic music.
Oh no.
This song is called Hitman, so I do want to use it. Yes, go ahead. As you line up the shot, you see her stand there. We'll go ahead and roll your dice.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's say 16.
16. That'll hit. Go and roll damage.
Oh man. Okay. And I hunter's marked her, so I gotta do a little extra.
She's not at all. For context, she has half cover, but she's not wearing any armor, so her AC is pretty much 10 plus the half cover. So she, go ahead and roll damage though.
Okay.
And this is a sneak attack, so technically you would have had advantage on it.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
I am not a rogue.
No.
Sorry, I just realized I muted myself. Why do I have advantage? Because she's just not expecting it?
Or it's a surprise attack, not sneak.
Okay.
That's what
all right. I was like, that was my other character.
No, surprise attack.
Okay, so let me roll again and see if it gets better.
She's not expecting to get shot, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so it was 18, so.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, I just dropped. Okay, so 9. Oops, I clicked on that. Don't worry about that, guys. That is 20 piercing damage.
20 piercing damage. Okay, here's what happens. You and you don't have any sort of like silence. This is just a full-on gunshot that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, because by doing the hunter's mark, that would pass without a trace would have gone away. So yeah.
Okay, so you cast the hunter's mark, you aim, you fire. There is the explosion, which you are sort of deafened to. It doesn't really bother you so much, but you see the hole appear in the window, and you see the little bit of blood splatter across the back wall as the halfling goes down, immediately sort of drops to the floor, and you see a little bit of commotion there, and I think you hear a scream from across the street too. And you see the woman who's in the room with Nikolai and the matron goes like sprinting out of the room. Nikolai briefly kind of looks over his shoulder and looks out the window. He doesn't kind of looks in your direction, can't see you well enough, but I think he just gives an okay symbol, and then he goes running out of the room too, signaling that that you're good. And so he makes a run for it. Where are you going?
Okay. I'm going to recast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go back. The door that we went in, was it like on the street, or was it?
It was in an alley.
It was in an alleyway. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go back down that way, relock the door. I've already put my gun in my bag, and then just gonna casually walk out of there. Is there maybe if there's some newspaper or something around, I pretend to be
okay,
reading.
Yeah, you grab a newspaper.
I walk down the street or something.
Yeah, it's just kind of like one of the newspapers got kind of wadded up and kind of rolled across into the street corner, so you pick it up and kind of dust it, straighten it off a bit so you can look like you're reading something. As you reach the end of the alley, though, as you're looking over across the street to see if you see Nikolai coming out, you see instead four Nurian gangsters come running in from the buildings next door and immediately head into the brothel.
Oh no!
Where Nikolai has not come out yet.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly make my way over there.
Oh, you're going over there across the street?
Over I'm gonna sit there for a minute and see what happens.
Okay. So lean your back up against the
yeah, I'm reading the paper, but there's little holes in it. Maybe I'm looking at them.
Yeah, just casually reading your paper where a gunshot just went off. There's a little bit of panic in the streets, and people are coming out of the buildings and then kind of looking outside. You can see some people in the nearby shops coming out and looking. you watching the building, a few seconds pass, you hear some shouts and some more screams coming from inside the building, and then you see a window shatter as Nikolai comes jumping out of the second story window and crashing onto the street below. He hits the ground with a heavy thud and begins to sort of pick himself up. He looks around briefly and then quickly makes a bolt across the street towards an alleyway. Where do you go?
Okay. Oh man. Do any of the does anybody like come to the window that he like jumped out of?
Yeah, I think you see one of the Nurian kind of runs over the window and leans out to look to see where he's going.
Okay. Oh heck. I'm gonna start making my way towards the park.
Towards the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to be casual, but then also maybe kind of like looking back, trying to watch for those 4 Nurian who I saw run into the building and the one who looked at the window.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a what this music now?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have you make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Nice.
So 36.
Okay. You
So recast Path on Trace.
casually begin walking down the street and kind of cross over as you're heading north towards the park. You're keeping as low profile as you can, kind of staying with some of the crowds who are heading towards the whatever the sounds were, beyond the kind of people coming out and trying to get an idea of what the commotion is. And you're just weaving your way through them. You see, coming from the opposite direction, heading the same direction as you, a car with a few Nurian kind of like hanging out of it, looking around. Comes like just like slow rolls right past you and the crowd, though. They don't stop and they don't see you. They're not looking for you.
Okay.
And they continue going, and they make a left at the corner heading in the opposite direction of the park. You make a ride to that corner and continue heading towards your meetup point.
Okay.
I think, let's see. Yeah, I mean, with that stealth check, I think there are a couple of close calls along the way where you see other Nurian that are kind of positioned around the city and maybe have heard some commotion, know something's going on, but again, haven't been alerted to your presence. And eventually, after too much longer, you reach the park, where you wait for a while. I think about 30 or 45 minutes pass of you waiting in the park. I don't know if you're just like sitting at a bench or you're kind of hiding behind some trees or something.
No, it's probably casually sitting at a bench. Maybe one that's sort of facing like the main entrance of the park.
Okay.
So I can like see.
Or reading a newspaper.
Yeah.
And I think after that 45 minutes and maybe the little bit of anxiety is coming up and you're wondering if he made it out, you see Nikolai turn behind one of like some of the trees and shrubs that block the entrance. You can't really see the street from the park. Kind of turns around it very quickly, kind of darting behind the cover of some of the shrubs and the bushes, and he looks around really quickly and he sees you and kind of jogs across the field in your direction and says, "We should keep moving."
All right. Is he like all scraped up? Is he covered in blood? What is he?
No, he is completely unharmed. His jacket has like cuts and like holes in it where the glass might have pierced, but underneath there are no wounds.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so let's stroll along the waterfront.
Okay.
About out of the park and just along the waterway.
Okay. Yeah, you make it out of the park and begin coming across the waterway, and you guys will follow the river probably for the next like 2 hours, just like walking along that way, trying to make as much of a of an indirect path as you can. And maybe as you're walking along, we get the scene of the two of you, and he looks down at Jack and he says, or I think he looks over to you and he says, "That was a really good shot, by the way."
Thank you. I've been a hunter for a while, and unfortunately I've had to turn my sights on people.
It's the way the city is. Oh, damn it. I'm going to need a new jacket.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you jumped right out that window, but you look fine.
Has to do with my upbringing.
Got it.
Like I said, I spent a long time in the Nurian. Oh god.
So what made you wanna not be with them anymore?
And he's sort of just like anxiously looking around too as you guys are having this conversation, or every once in a while like look over his shoulder and be like, a lot of things, honestly. A lot of children around here don't really have choice whether they join the gangs. It's pretty much your only option if you want to live around here. If your parents don't own a store or have a job lined up for you, it's pretty much guaranteed you're going to join the Nurian. And it's not a great way to live. But I don't know. My parents were both part of it. One of the first came in with Maria, part of the conflict that before Gothford was founded, and it was just sort of expected of me. I probably could have been an officer. I could have been in Guru's position right now, but it's just not what I wanted. And so when I was offered the chance to try to make the city a little better with the police here, I took the chance.
That's good of you, because there's a lot of stuff wrong with this city, but it's good to try to make things right where we can.
That was my hope. Obviously things didn't turn out that way, and this is where I'm at now. But seems like you and Cordelia and the rest of you, well, you might not necessarily want to make things better, but you at least don't want things to be any worse. So
yeah, it's a very tricky business that we're in.
yeah. Well, right now it's just a matter of staying alive. That's what we're doing. So hopefully this job was completed to your employer's satisfaction. And I don't know much about Finn Stryker, but I can't imagine that he'd be worse than Faust.
Yeah, I don't know much about him too, but he seems to be, I don't know, I can't decide if I can trust him yet, but he is offering something better than what I got now, so.
Well, all we can do is continue to take the better offer until we get something that's close to what we want.
That's true.
So I think the two of you continue your conversation. You guys continue your bonding all the way to the around the river and to back into Farsaw Heights and where Cloveslawn joined. So let's go back to Cordelia and Sebastian. The two of you have just picked up your stuff. You've attuned to your new jacket. And begin heading towards you also heading towards Farsaw Heights and to deliver goods. Anything along the way?
Yeah, as they're going, so how do you and Nikolai know each other?
Well, that's a long story.
Got a little bit of that walk.
I thought you didn't want to know about my history.
Sounds like your history's going to be a big part of our lives in the near future, what with your mom and all that.
We used to date. Long time ago.
Just date or...
Or what?
I don't know. I'll leave it alone.
What do you want to know?
Nothing, it's just, you trust him to watch out for Enza?
I trust him with my own life.
I guess that's good enough for me. So, what are you planning to do about your mom?
Oh, kill her in the long run.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes the most sense. Just wasn't sure you'd have already reached that conclusion.
Oh, I think I reached that conclusion a long time ago. One of us is gonna have to kill the other. Rather get out in front of that business too.
So I take it that's at least part of why you agreed so readily to Aya's offer of power.
Of course. And I mean, I think she knows that a little bit. Someone like me doesn't just come to someone like her looking for safety, but
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah.
You look like you have questions you don't want to ask.
It's just everything's so uncertain right now, and it's not all about you and your past. It's Gura and my family, the city as a whole, Draconisi, and we only have a few days left to deal with them before they're gone, which maybe wouldn't be terrible to just let them go, but I don't think any of us are really game for that. I guess I just want...
I also don't imagine they're gonna leave and just never come back.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, and I guess maybe this says something for align ourselves with lieutenants as soon as possible. How quickly can we make enough friends to get back up for going after the dragons? And what are any of the other families doing about them? Do they even know where they are?
I'm sure they know at least as much as us.
So In awkward silence for
Yeah.
a few more blocks.
No, was about to start the next sentence.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want Gura dead now. Should have just punched him in the alley and dealt with it. Because now I can take on a wolf. But probably wouldn't have walked out of that alley if I had done it.
Smart of you not to.
Yeah, sometimes I hate doing the smart thing. I don't know how you do it all the time.
It's a learned skill.
So what are the odds that this package is a bomb?
I think low. Doesn't mean it's not going to kill someone, but as long as it's not me, I don't really give a shit.
Fair enough. Well, whatever it is, sooner it's out of our hands, the better.
Do me a favor when we're all back together. Don't punch Nikolai.
I'll try.
You'll try?
Yeah, I mean, if he does something that deserves punching, he's gonna get punched, but
Like existing.
I don't object to his existence that much yet. I mean, seems like a nice enough guy. He's offering to help watch over my family, so no.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do a new disguise for this job.
Oh. And what if they're expecting Cordelia Strega?
Most people aren't, to be honest.
I guess that is actually a question I had. When you did that whole blood oath thing, you used Cordelia Strega. Even though I know by now that was a cover of sorts. I guess I'm a little unclear how much of this is still an assumed persona that you made up when you came to this city.
Cordelia Strega is my real name. You don't get into a blood oath on aliases, and the Calverts know who I am. Never had to hide from them. Not really. But if I'm going to be taking a bomb or something into a cafe, I don't want to look like me.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself and turn myself into a redhead this time.
Okay.
Just changing hair color. Sebastian was about to suggest, make yourself look like a dude or something.
No, she looks really different. I was gonna say a little bit darker skin, but literally anyone's skin is darker than hers because she's very pale. But like freckles and like curly red hair,
Okay.
like a cute dress.
Yeah. So, girl next door,
Yeah,
Mary Jane, just walks into.
and glasses.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I like the real you better, but this works too.
All right.
Mostly, I imagine keeping this up during some of our activities might be a bit taxing.
No, not at all.
Well, then maybe we should start playing around with it some. Just a thought.
You get this way when you're jealous. I'll consider it. edge of the cafe.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt anybody else. Nope. All right. You head into the, you get to the cafe at the 113th Street, just off the river. And so are you just going in by yourself to drop it off?
Yes.
You head inside, and there aren't a whole lot of people in here right now, but there is a genasi, air genasi, that is sitting at one of the tables, and do you just walk over and give them the package?
Walk over and sit down.
Okay, you sit down, and they look, sort of scrutinize you a bit, and say, "Can I help you?"
Hello, I've been told to bring you this.
All right. Who might this be from, so I can thank them properly?
I thought you knew.
I see. All right. Well, thank you.
Anytime. I'll walk away.
Okay. You walk out and back onto the street. Two of you head back to the laundry joint. Okay. As you get about a half a block away, you hear a cracking noise coming from behind you. And you turn around in time to see the building, the cafe itself, implode. There's the shattering of glass for a moment, but immediately after that, it sort of silences as the sound itself is being pulled in, and the entire building is withdrawn and implodes to a point, which then disappears, leaving behind nothing but a vacant lot.
I'm gonna drop my disguise.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
They had shitty coffee anyway.
All right. You head back to the laundry joint?
Yep.
Okay. So you all reconvene back in the safety of the speakeasy. Clove tending to the bar, more customers inside, and you see, I think you wait there for a little bit before Enza and Nikolai return as well. Both of them, no worse for wear, except for Nikolai has a few extra holes in his jacket.
I take it everything shook out okay?
It was great.
No problem at all.
Nicholas pretty good at going undercover.
I bet.
It's been a while.
You seem to be doing all right. Ribs him a little bit.
Well, Enzo here is a hell of a shot, so I can see why you keep it around. I'm getting a drink.
That sounds lovely.
He walks to the bar and grabs a few drinks. He'll grab a drink for everyone.
What did I want?
Well, you know, the blood pact.
Cordelia has officially thrown in her lot with Aya Sharp's faction of the Calbits, under pain of death.
For Aya, too, if she betrays me.
Yep, there is that.
So we've got quite a lot of new friends.
Interesting.
Did you say why? Like, what she wants you to do as part of this pact?
work for her as, well, in the capacity of an officer, I suppose.
Sounds like you're moving up in the world a little bit.
I do what I can. Since, the whole family sold me out and everything, gotta take it where I can get it. But, that means the Calverts have all of our backs. Not just mine.
What are we gonna do when somebody who's, I don't know, if they want two rivals are competing and they want us both?
I don't know. It's possible if we can turn the allies we have on the other factions, we can keep that from happening. At least for a while, but it seems most of the city wants to keep the balance of power.
So at this rate, the Nurians are going to be out of the picture.
Hurting no one's feelings.
I don't know. I got a feeling if this pressure's getting put on them, Seb, you might have to get. Girl might call you in.
Yeah. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I want Gur to be dead and buried by the time we deal with the dragons.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about him.
And the dragons.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
sounds like we should at least have Aya's backing a little bit for that. Think Finn will help you out there?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. It's hard dealing with the Mephistosi. Everything seems too good to be true with them. But maybe we can get some support out of it.
Well, it would benefit them to have the Draconisi going again too. If we can get the Mephistosi and the Calverts in on that together, maybe they'd be less inclined to fight each other.
Get a common enemy for them.
It worked for us.
So are you thinking you might advise Aya to broker a deal with this Finn striker?
For the better of both their families? Maybe.
Calverts and the Mephistosi have always kept a very tight relationship, so I don't imagine that would be too difficult.
Do we know if any of the other families have, like, how the relations of all the families, like, what ones are closer?
Yeah, I think the Calverts are the most neutral out of them. So they tend to have better relationships with most of the family, less adversarial. So the Calverts and Mephistosi have a close ties because of the production of essence gems and essence looms. So that's what keeps them very close in most aspects. The Zartano have pretty good ties with both the pretty good relationship with the Calverts and the Mephistosi as well. Maybe a little more competitive with the Mephistosi, maybe more adversarial there. The Zartano also, I think, have probably the best relationship with the Nurian out of the other families because of their financial dealings with the Nurian sort of hold on most of the property in Lower Gothford and their size. But the Nurian really have the worst relationship with the entirety of the setup.
Okay. Which is why, like, kind of makes sense that they're getting picked on first.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Enza,
Yeah.
how much do you know about the Mephistosi and their feelings on the ousted families? Undead, necromancy, that kind of thing.
Would I know? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's your choice whether you think Enza really would keep up with all of that. If you think she would, I can give you a little information. If you think that she doesn't really care, then
I feel like she probably, didn't care. I mean, like now that things have changed, probably is more aware of it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think at the time, like, didn't pay attention to some of that politics stuff. So I don't know. That would be a question to broach with them.
Worth knowing.
Because I don't know how they feel about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Nikolai says, so what's the plan for tomorrow? Hopefully I don't have to jump in of any more windows.
You jumped out of a window.
Yeah. Didn't really leave me with an option.
Fair enough. I blew up a cafe.
Oh. Everybody was busy today.
What is the plan for tomorrow?
Like I said, I want to go after Gura. I'll probably be expecting it given how heavy he came down on me, but given the fact he brought 10 plus goons to blackmail me, means he's scared of me. If he needed 10 to feel comfortable dealing with me, if we've got all of us, he's going to need his whole army to stop us.
Fighting him now would be a lot different than the first time.
That's true. Seb, is that a new jacket?
Oh yeah, this is what Craig whipped up for me.
Looks pretty good.
Thank you. Should see if he can whip something up for your gun, make it a little sneakier. Don't know if that's something he would know how to do.
I mean, that would be nice. It could have been useful for today. I mean, things worked out as they did, but it would be nice to have a little bit more quiet if I'm expected to continue performing things like this.
Probably be good for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys aren't probably used to the sound of it. Yeah.
So, say we do go after Gura. That leaves what, one Nurian boss in rotation?
Yep. Just Jersey.
Yeah, depending on how things shake out tonight. The next little bit.
Yeah, actually, depending on how things shake out tonight, I'm wondering, do we have like just a back? I'm wondering if we get just like a map in like Clove's back room and just have like the war room.
Harn's in the back, just like doing all these like
Yeah.
dots and
Yes.
like moving people.
Yeah, we'll say you guys
Giant
have
conspiracy theory map.
you guys have your war room.
But yeah, pointing out how if
It's funny.
what we just did help and Finn take out two. No, not quite. No, it's the Zartano are one of the ones attacking. But anyway, after tonight, depending on how the Zartano do, the Nurians will be down to just Jersey and Gur with one territory each. Which means Gur's probably going to be pretty desperate.
Yeah, but the corner dog is pretty vicious.
Also makes a lot of mistakes.
biggest mistake was letting me know he's got my family in his sights.
Yeah, that does seem like a too smart of an idea on his part.
Fucker's not gonna live to see the end of the week.
We can deal with him, but we gotta do it right. Nikolai might be a big help with this.
I'll do what I can. What do you need me for?
I think it would behoove us to know the ins and outs of any Nurian's weakness.
I can certainly help with that. I mean, if you're just talking about the weakness of lycanthropes, I can. You know as much about that as I do.
Okay.
I don't know Gura as well as some of the others. I was telling Enza that he was pretty young the last time I saw him, kind of a nobody. But from what I remember, he was always picking fights with the biggest and scariest among us, trying to prove himself. Was always trying to make a name for himself. Never really thought about it. Jersey, on the other hand, is a bit different. More prone to planning. I don't think you'll see them make many mistakes, especially if, as you say, they are backed into a corner. I imagine they'll be working pretty hard to maintain what they have.
I don't know how much we need to worry about Jersey. I assume there's no love lost between them and Gura.
No, but if we take out Gura and there's only a couple of Nurian-controlled territories left, the dogs might start lashing out.
I can see what I can do. I'll look into. I was going to reach out to a few people to help out with the Sotos, as I said earlier, and maybe I'll see if there's any other supporters, people who don't like either Jersey or Gura.
Can't imagine that's hard to find.
With Carolina taken out, I imagine there are probably some stray dogs looking for a home.
We might be able to find him a place here.
I'll see what I can do on that front then. All right. To new ambitions then. And at that moment, you all hear a noise coming from the steps. The sound of metal clinking against the steps. As... Is this what I want to do? No, we'll go with this one. As a canister rolls clink, 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 clink down and then slides in the room, kind of rolling for a second before it begins to release this gas which begins to fill the room. That sound effect didn't last as long as I wanted it to. There we go.
Oh man.
And a cloud of smoke begins to sort of fill throughout the room as you see hear boots very quickly making their way down the steps. You see GPD officers wearing assuming riot gear, very swarming into the basement of the laundry joint.
Oh. Heck.
And as they swarm in and sort of silently begin to proceed towards you with these shields and like batons to the side, I think Nikolai instinctively kind of reaches cries out and grabs up like a bottle from the side and smacks one of them across the helmet with it as they come towards him, and yells, "We need to get out of here!" And as he does, the helmet comes flying off of the officer, but underneath it you don't see a human. You see a skeleton. Its teeth clattering against each other as it goes and lunges back with the baton to strike down at Gura and the rest of the patrons beginning to panic. Not Gura, Nikolai. I don't know why I keep saying Gura. And as
you secretly ship them, don't you?
I know. And as the undead police officers begin to swarm into the basement, that's where we're gonna call our session for tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Cool. It's fine. Oh.
All right.
Great. Cool.
Uh-oh.
So good game. Hopefully we'll have everyone here next week, or many people as we can here next week. But good role playing, everyone. Good job.
Thanks.
Yay.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks for the continuation of our game here. Like I said at the beginning of the session, we've got a lot of games coming up this week. We have Wild Space on Monday. We have Cyberscape coming out on Wednesday. That's our podcast, so you can get that on iTunes and CastBox. We'll also hopefully we'll have the next Wonderworld this Thursday, but again, we'll keep you updated on that. The plan is to make up the session this week. And yeah, more video game stuff along the way. I don't know if we'll be doing it tonight or tomorrow, but at some point this weekend, we are going to be doing our first play of Anthem, playing through the demo for all of y'all. But yeah, any announcements, anything I missed? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. And until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.